Sophia Logston, and today I'm going to be reading Chapter 4 / Episode 4 of my Fate the Winx Saga rewrite. This chapter is called Who Can You Trust? This episode, I'm not sure what episode it references in the original series. I know it does. I know I tried to stay as true as I could to the original series, and I definitely did look at everything I wanted to reference, everything I wanted to talk about in the series. So yeah, this definitely does talk about the series. So, before we get started, don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and help me out, because I'm still like this is like my second week on YouTube, and I still know not that much. So please help me out. I wouldn't mind some help. That would be really helpful. Anyway, okay, so let's continue. I wish they had found something, said Headmistress Dowling. Well, you've done what you can for now, said Professor Harvey. Maybe we got it wrong? We saw a burned one. Students saw it too. So why can't they find any? Asked Olivia. Obviously, these creatures are learning to stay out of sight. We cannot said Griselda. We cannot assume anything about these creatures. There is still little knowledge about burned ones, said Professor Palandine. I agree with you, but it doesn't matter. We saw a burned one, said Professor Dufour. Maybe I should have the Queen's army do another search of the area, said Headmaster Silva, as he walked into the room. How nice of you to finally join us, said Griselda. Griselda, please be kind. Saul had other matters to attend to, and I think that is a great idea, said Headmistress Dowling. Well, however we deal with this, we need to know how many there could be out there. We will fix this matter. Yes, the way we do that is by letting the Queen's army search the area again, said Professor Harry Duforth. I'll let the Queen know. Darcy and Ribbon walked into the teacher's lounge. You two should be in bed, and you should know what's going on in your school. What's going on? Stella is missing. Stella is missing. Bloom, Musa, Flora, Techna, Sky, Brandon, Sam, and Timmy went looking for her in the woods past the barrier. Wait, Prince Sky is here on campus? Yes, ma'am. Headmaster Silva, can you let King Randor? Yes. When you're done with that, take Olivia, Ribbon, and the other specialists into the woods, said Headmistress Dowling. Silva, Olivia, and Ribbon left the room. The other teachers left as well. Darcy, why don't you head back to your room, said Headmistress Dowling as she headed to her office. Will do, said Darcy, but she didn't head to her room. Instead, Darcy headed to the woods to join her sisters. Meanwhile, Silva, Ribbon, Olivia, and other specialists find Sam, Musa, Sky, Bloom, Brandon, Flora, Techna, and Timmy. Yeah, they find them. You guys know you're not supposed to be outside the barrier, and you're endangering His Majesty Prince Sky. Prince Sky, why don't you, Musa, Flora, Sage, and Bloom, head back to the school? We'll find Stella. Yes, sir. Olivia, head back with them. Make sure they get back safely. Yes, Headmaster Silva. Come on, guys, let's head back to school, said Olivia as they headed to the school. The girls plus Sky and Sam made it safely back. They all waited in the lobby. After a while, Silva returned with Stella. "What you all attempted to do tonight was stupid, impulsive, and reckless," said Headmaster Silva. "We know, but did you find Stella?" "Yes, we did. She was cornered by some burned ones and couldn't find a way out." Stella showed her face. Musa, Techna, Bloom, and Flora all hugged their friend. Headmistress Dowling joins the group. "Thank goodness that everyone is safe and sound. Now, I don't want any of you to try that again. Do you hear me?" "Yes, ma'am." "Brandon, Prince Sky, your father is outside," said Headmaster Silva. Brandon and Sky went with Headmaster Silva to see their father, while everyone else headed to bed. Back at the Winx suite, Stella explains what really happened to Bloom, Musa, Techna, and Flora. "I was watching Isabel meet with her sisters, Beatrix and Darcy. They acted like they played a part in the burned ones not being found by the Solarian army. They mentioned that they were looking for someone who had the dragon flame inside them. After that, they caught me. I blacked out and I woke up surrounded by burned ones. That's when Headmaster Silva and the rest of the specialists found me." "What's the dragon flame?" "Let me explain like this. Everyone knows the fairy world was created by the Great Fairy. One of the kingdoms she created was inhabited by a dragon who had a powerful fire. Domino was that kingdom. Now, when dark forces attacked Domino, it became a cold and dark place. The dragon was killed, and his fire power was transferred into a fairy. No one knows who that fairy is. Domino, along with Meritopia and another kingdom, were considered the 3 lost kingdoms," Techna explained. "Anything else we should know about Stella?" "No, but those sisters, Isabel, Darcy, and Beatrix, are up to something." Meanwhile, King Randor talks to his sons, Brandon and Sky. Headmaster Silva is standing on silence. "I cannot express how disappointed I am in each of you. You've been switching places and hanging out with non-royals. Now, I allowed Brandon to go to Alfie, but Sky, I told you your place is in the castle, studying to be king," said King Randor. "I understand, Dad, but I would like to go to school, get to be around people my age, learn how to fight," said Sky. "Well, against my better judgment, your mother and I, mainly your mother, have decided to allow you to continue going to school, as long as you stay honest and keep your grades up. Headmaster Silva will be keeping an eye on you boys. If either of you step out of line, you're out. Understood?" "Yes, sir," said both Sky and Brandon. "Oh, and Brandon, I don't mind you dating Princess Stella. Sky, don't get any ideas. You already have someone," said King Randor. "I know," said Sky as he and Brandon started to head back inside. "See you boys later," said King Randor as he headed back to the castle. "Seems Ribbon will be needing a new roommate. Or we could just all room together. It wouldn't be that bad. Ribbon could sleep on the couch," said Sky. Ribbon and Olivia came to join. "There's no way I'm sleeping on that couch," said Ribbon. "At least their dad is letting them go to the school. Be thankful about that," said Olivia happily. "I'll allow you to room together as long as you rotate each night. That way it's fair. Now all of you head to bed. It's late," said Silva, as everyone went to their rooms. The next day, the girls, Bloom, Techna, Flora, Musa, and Stella, are at lunch. "So apparently people are talking about me being a changeling," said Bloom as she sat down. "You can thank Beatrix for that." "How did she even find out?" "Maybe by snooping around. Who cares? We need to figure out what those sisters want with dragon flame? Better question, who has a dragon flame and where is it? Asked Bloom. That's a question that not a lot of people know the answer to. That's a question that not a lot of people know the answer to, said Stella. Hey, isn't your mom coming to the school today? She is, and while I love my mother, I will be outshined by her all day, said Stella. We'll have to see what happens in the assembly, said Musa. Yes, well, I will see if my mother knows anything about the dragon flame. By the way, I'm fine, if any of you are wondering. I should probably go get ready to see my mom, said Stella. Stella leaves the area. For the record, she is not fine, said Musa. Meanwhile, Ribbon is talking to Beatrix and Darcy. Do you really believe Bloom is a changeling? 100%. Changelings were a way for fairies to get revenge on the First World. Swap a fairy with the First World baby and wait for it to wreak havoc. Changelings are bad news. It's why we stay on the good side. Or at least try to, said Darcy. You really expect me to believe that? Believe what you want. It's the truth. Changelings can be dangerous. I think I did everyone a favor. Speaking of which, where did you even get that information? My sister, Darcy over here, is a great mind fairy. She didn't want to be a person who spreads gossip, so I did it for her. Maybe you two can get to know each other, said Beatrix as she left Ribbon along with Darcy. Of course she thinks I like the first boy I meet. Hey, who's your new roommate? She's a third year, right? Yeah, she's a third year. A Princess Dasperora, answered Darcy. Interesting. Hey, would you sit with me in the assembly? I was actually thinking about ditching. Want to join? Sure, answered Ribbon as they turned around and looked out at the lunch area. Meanwhile, Stella meets her mom in front of school. Are you sure you're ready for this? Yeah, I just wish I could talk to her about getting back together with Dad. I'm sure Queen Luna is doing what she thinks is the right thing. Well, I'm just a text away if you need anything. Brandon left the area as Queen Luna pulled up. Oh, Stella, it's good to see you, said Queen Luna as she gave her daughter a hug. Hi, Mom, said Stella. Meanwhile, everyone starts heading to the assembly, but Bloom wants answers. The assembly is mandatory, Bloom. Yeah, but there might be some answers in the East Wing. Bloom, I'm not asking any of you to come. There's still so much I need to know. I can't help but think that what's going on has something to do with me. It's a bad idea. A bad idea is going to an assembly where I'll be stared at like I'm a freak. I can't just sit and listen to people make up stuff about me, especially when I don't know the truth myself. I need answers, said Bloom. We're not going to change your mind. Fine, you had a terrible migraine, could barely stand up. Good, said Flora as Bloom heads off to the East Wing. Darcy and Ribbon decide to follow her. While down in the East Wing, Bloom runs into Sky. What are you doing down here? Better question is, why aren't you back at your fancy castle? Asked Bloom. Look, I'm sorry I lied. I just wanted to live a normal life, and now I actually get to go to Althea. I'm not the only one you should be apologizing to, said Bloom. Brandon already talked to Stella, and they made up. Why can't we? Asked Stella. Asked Sky. Doesn't matter. Why aren't you at the assembly? I'd rather not be in the same place with the person I'm betrothed to. I'd rather not be in the same place where the person I'm betrothed to is. Oh, you're betrothed. Another reason we shouldn't be hanging out. Look, I just want to make sure you're okay. Plus, I'm a little curious, said Sky. I'm just looking for answers. Mind if I help? Guess not. Meanwhile, back at the assembly, Queen Luna gets ready to speak. Flora, Tekna, Musa, and Sam are all sitting together in a row. Still can't believe she's Stella's mom. I know. Queen Luna began to speak. I always had a love-hate relationship with assemblies. When I was at Althea, I loved getting out of class. I hated being lectured. But I am not here to lecture you. Misa and Sam are sitting next to each other, texting and smiling. I'm here to treat you like the students you are. In the original, in Fate the Winx Saga Netflix, she's like, I'm here to treat you like the adults you are. These people are 16 and 17 in the book, and in the original series, and in this story as well. They're not adults. They're not legal adults. They're kids still. They're still children. They're still minors in a way. They're not adults. Don't call them adults yet. It's so weird that Netflix did that, and it caught me off guard when I was editing. Anyway, let me continue. I'm here to treat you like the students you are, to talk about the burned ones everyone has been seeing in the woods. It's only natural that some of you aren't very interested in what happens in our world. It has been years since the last one was sighted, and yet none of my army has found any. So we must not be looking in the right places. How about the history lesson? Many of you don't know what a burned one is or where they come from. Let me shed some light on that, said Queen Luna as she continued speaking. There was a legend. It's 1,000-year-old. That's how the burned ones are, by the way. They were soldiers in an ancient war. The legend is about the magic used against them in the lost kingdom Domium, when it was attacked by 3 ancient blood witches. They had helped from an army of darkness, burned ones. These burned ones can only be destroyed by the fairy who has the dragon flame. But they can also be controlled by the dragon flame. So I advise you to all keep an eye out. These creatures will be dealt with. Thankfully, this is only half of their army. The other half is trapped in the realm of darkness, said Queen Luna. Meanwhile, Bloom and Sky continue to look for answers in the East Wing. So what's the magic here? I was born in 2004, so keep your eyes peeled for anything from then. I'm not sure we're going to find any answers down here, said Sky. Well, I think something here is connected to what's going on. Just look for anything that talks about lost fairies, lost kingdoms, and the dragon flame, said Bloom as they continued to search. Darcy and Riven joined them. Looks like we're not the only ones up to no good. Back at the assembly, conflict is on the horizon. In the legend, it states that when burned ones are sighted for the second time in a long while, it means blood witches are coming. The threat is serious and growing. It's time for you all to pay attention. Prepare yourself, said Queen Luna. In the East Wing, Darcy, Riven, Sky, and Bloom are still looking for answers. Have you seriously been down here looking at dusty rubbish? People who think history is rubbish are rubbish. At least that's what my sister would say. That's what my sister would say. So don't be rubbish. Maybe it was just a little bit of foreplay, suggested Darcy as they walked around. They are definitely not doing that, Darcy. That would actually make Sky here interesting. He's right, we aren't, but we were alone, which was pleasant. Oh, so an emotional affair. That's actually much worse, said Darcy. Suddenly, Riven finds a locked door and starts trying to get it open. Ooh, I love locked doors. Wonder what's back here. I don't know, but Silva's the only one with the key, said Sky. So then, how do we get in? We don't. But there may be stuff down there. That's the reason why I came down here, said Bloom, not wanting to go. Well, next time I see him, I'll ask him. Sky, The more you say no, the more she wants. Give in, said Riven. Do we need to have a talk about consent? Said Darcy. Why are you guys down here again? Being on your side. I don't need help from someone whose sister spreads gossip about me. Look, I know the gossip was extra, but I had nothing to do with it. I was a bystander, said Darcy. Well, thanks, but I can stand up for myself, said Bloom, who didn't trust Darcy at all. Well, if you can't get that door open, we might as well head back before we all get called. I'll go back with you, said Riven. Well, I'm staying. I need answers. Okay, said Riven as he and Riven left the room. Look at that. Just us girls. Finally, said Darcy. Outside the East Wing. Seriously, you're running from me. Since when do you hang out with girls who gossip? Asked Sky, trying to catch up with Riven. Look, I don't need a lecture about who I'm supposed to date or be around, especially from you. At least I'm stating that I care, said Sky. Fine, I stand ready to hear what a bad decision maker I am. You are, you always have been, but ever since what exactly? No, go on, I can't wait to hear. Okay, fine, you upped your prick game a whole level since you started hanging out with Darcy and her sisters. Yeah, you have no idea. Take something seriously, Riven. I am Sky. I like Darcy. She's the only person in this stupid school who likes me as is. What does that make me? The guy who always thinks he's better than me? And why are you up in my face about this? You're the one who is betrothed. Maybe stop creeping on first years while you've got Little Miss Princess dangling. That's not what's going on. You sure? Because that's what everyone else sees it, including Desperora. And honestly, why I was trying to help your little betrothed situation. Dia is Darcy's roommate, but I guess you won't be doing that. But I guess I won't be doing that anymore, said Riven as he walked away, leaving Sky in the rain. And that's the end of chapter 5. And that's the end of chapter 4. Tomorrow or Saturday, I will be reading chapter 5, episode 5, A School Full of Answers. Thanks for watching, and that's all I have for you guys today. Bye!